Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Let me read you the title of this article and then we can unpack the stupidity. This article comes from Sputnik. It's from today, the 20th of December 2022. Biden reportedly preparing to hold Netanyahu personally responsible for far-right cabinet members. All right, so Biden supposedly is gonna take Bibi by the ear and hey, what are you doing? Smack, aid, what are you doing? That's what the method in Romania. That's how the teachers were doing with the students, with the bad students. Like anyway, so that was one of the techniques. So Biden will get Netanyahu. I don't know exactly who's going to take who. Just to be honest, I'm pretty much certain that Netanyahu will get Biden and going to be pushing with this finger, bang, and Biden is going to lose his balance and break like a glass. So supposedly Biden is going to tell Netanyahu. Remember when Biden took Mohammed bin Salman to task? And he said that he's gonna turn Saudi Arabia into a pariah. Remember that one? And when he said that he thinks that Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, is kind of like responsible for Khashoggi's killing and ruthless. I'm not gonna talk to him. You remember that one? Yeah. And then who sucked who's who did that? I think Biden, didn't he? Didn't he go to Saudi Arabia and bump fist and we're buddy, man, we're cool. We're cool. So, do you think this is gonna do with Netanyahu? Hey, Netanyahu is an Israeli. Smack, okay? And there's a lot of who would fuck you up. No, it's not it. It's me. So I don't think so. But Biden is doing this from his stupidity, not from any courage, because he knows he's going to be the end of it. It's going to be the end of it. The problem is, this is what I expect sometimes from old people that have nothing to lose. But he has, because he wants to run for presidency again if he's going to be still breathing. Not reasoning. Breathing is enough. He proved it last time. That's all what was necessary. So he's not going to do anything like that. If he's going to do something like that, he's going to be out of the office before he says Biden is a genius. Okay? That's one thing. The other one is, if he's doing this consciously, which is not, I'm thinking of those billionaires. There are a lot of them over there who have very different views than the woke mob in this country here, and they're still not speaking up. The only one that dares to do that, and I'm not certain exactly in what camp he is Musk, because sometimes people are allowed to say certain things because they are on the payroll of the ones that supposedly they criticize. Okay, you can watch some other people on YouTube and they can talk about certain subjects without being, anything. And you can find them. You can look by name, and I can't give you the names because I don't like to, point fingers at people that say certain things, that are helpful and meaningful. But I think some of them are not people of their own. Standing up on their own, 2 feet, 2 legs, to whatever. So anyway, see what this guy is saying. First, he's criticizing a country that elected, right, a party or whatever, the coalition. They voted, they got elected, they decided the coalition government or whatever, they decided the prime minister has the right to appoint whatever. Is none of your fucking business to hold anybody accountable of anything. It's like someone will hold you accountable because you're an idiot, or because you are this, or because you're that, or because you choose Kamala Harris with 1% below 1% in her primaries, in the Democratic primaries. Remember that one? And he elected her. Picked her supposedly to be his running mate. But they won. So that tells you a lot about You know what I mean. Okay, so that's another thing. And then who did they appoint? Who did they appoint? And what if someone says, well, I disagree with that. I think you're just, you're discriminating against some groups. I don't like that. What do you think this guy will say? Or what would I say, for instance, to Trudeau, who was very happy that he employed in his government more this and that? Is that what you were looking for? Actually looking for the best candidates, not what color of the skin, what they have in between their legs, what they identify as, what colors they like, what dick they like, what pussy they like. I know that it's not it's unimportant. It's irrelevant to the position. But anyway, it's just I think he made a mistake because Netanyahu is gonna fuck him up. I mean, look when Netanyahu comes, when he used to come, and the capital, and spoke in front of the Congress. These guys were doing squats every 3 seconds, standing up and applauding, saying out applauding, and after that was like a workout. They needed like a week off because their legs and they were tired as fuck. To none other visitor. Tomorrow Zelensky will show up and there will be the same thing, but Zelensky's got both. He's the hero of the heroes and he is also as the Israeli Knesset prepares to swear in the new coalition government, the White House is preparing for a fallout from some of the incoming administration's more extremist members, according to the U.S. media reports. They're none of your business. When you're going to say something, don't you think that they have enough and a lot to say about you and your team? Unless you think you're perfect, which they do. That's the big problem. Lack of self-awareness. That's what it is, among others. And they are our leaders, elected representatives, whatever. Benjamin Netanyahu, who was assigned by Israeli President Isaac Herzog to form a coalition government after a strong electoral showing last month, is laying the final preparation on the political deals with which he was stitched together a ruling majority coalition. However, that coalition includes several figures far to the right of the already conservative Likud leader, figures about whom Israel's greatest ally, the United States, has made clear its objections. First, they are okay with being far left, but they're not okay with being far right. That's something that's bullshit, because if you're far in one or another, that's not good according to these guys, right? You have to be mainstream, which means have no personality whatsoever. You can't think more than this or that, you know? That's why when we have our explorers, if they were mainstream, they would not have been explorers. You know what I mean? And other. Get Vasco da Gama if you want, Christopher Columbus, take Cook, take a lot of guys, you know? If they were just, I'm going to just stay home and jerk off and be chasing women and drinking my wine or whatever I was drinking, nothing. We would have been over there still beating the drum. That's it. But you have to push the extremes. Oh, not like that. And then immediately they point out to the Second World War. Really? You tell me, what was the War of the Independence? The Independence War in the United States. Was that a mainstream idea or was it an extreme idea? A fucking extreme idea. And look what they get. The greatest country in the world. Did I score some points? Please leave me alone. Don't arrest me. I said that. Remember? They don't give a fuck. And that's another one. He picks whoever the guys are accepting. They're not going to do a job. They're going to fly out, right? That's work within the system. Then the second one, the greatest ally. The United States is not Israel's ally. I don't see it that way. The United States is what Israel needs in certain circumstances. And when Israel doesn't need United States, they discard United States. And the same is true for that one. Okay? So what the hell? And anyway, but they think we're idiots. And most of us are. And I'm quoting, on Tuesday, Biden administration officials reportedly made anonymous statements to U.S. media in which they said U.S. President Joe Biden is planning to hold Netanyahu, quote-unquote, personally responsible for his cabinet. The only people that should hold responsible the government of the Jewish state Israel, again I scored some points by calling it Jewish state, is the Israeli citizens. That's it! And nobody else. Nobody else. It's none of your business. You can talk, but I'm going to hold you accountable. Who do you think you are? My daddy? What? Who the hell do you think you are? You're a guy who don't know what day of the week is. You don't know what the hell you've been doing 5 minutes ago? Jesus Christ, you smell children's hair and, you know, Jesus Christ, man. So the cabinet, for his cabinet, including Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich, who have called for leveling the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem and denying citizenship to non-Jews. And the question is this, do they still believe that? And the Jewish society doesn't sanction them? Then who's you to say that? I mean, you guys, you say that, for instance, let's say the United States or this weasel say, oh, hey, let's push freedom and democracy, or democracy and, I don't know, whatever they say, democracy. But what if a country doesn't want to have democracy? What if they say, no, I think democracy is a bad system, and your value is a stupid value, and we condemn you, and I hold you accountable for your stupidity? What if some people say, well, men and women should be equal, and then I say, no, they should be equal, but in separate ways. Oh, no, they're exactly the same. And I say, no, they're not. We hold you accountable for your stupid statement. I mean, people have different values. But you say, again, we go to reality now. We can't be, you can't, bake the cake and eat it. You can't believe in a cultural relativism, and on the same time you try to impose certain kind of values as being the values, and your values are not the values, the values. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, this and this, and then you say, wait a minute, actually, there's no culture better than other culture. All cultures, go and ask Biden if, let's say, rap music is worse than the classical music. Go and ask him. I don't think he knows what rap music is anyway, but ask him about, I don't know, the music from a certain kind of country or certain kind of continent, if that is inferior to another kind of music from another country, from another continent. And he's going to say, well, they're both good in their own way. Para. Okay, anyway, so the same, he knows that, but then he has values that everybody else have to abide by them. There's a problem if the women in that country, I don't know, have their faces, covered. That's their culture. What's your problem? For them, our women that don't have that covered, that's very, very inadequate. It's rude. I don't know. That's the way they see it. Are we right? Showing our all that and all that? Or are they right? Being decent, maybe too much for our taste, as we are too much for their taste. What are we going to do? Are we going to beat them into submission and bring them democracy and equality and all that? Basically, but remember, this is Netanyahu. He's going to fuck Biden up however he wants, any day of the week. But anyway, he's not going to say anything. If he's going to say something, he's going to be gone. No, nothing. Anyway, you'll see. Now, Ben-Gvir is said to be Netanyahu Minister of Public Security. And Smotrich will control part of the finance ministry, with his religious Zionism party also controlling coordinator of government activities in the territories, the part of the defense ministry responsible for Jewish settlements in the West Bank, and the Constitution, Law and Justice Committee in the Knesset. Well, that's their lives. What do you want? That's their thing. And I'm quoting here, Bibi says he can control his government. So let's see him to do just that, an unnamed US official told Politico using the statement's nickname. Well, first, it's not your problem. It's their problem. That's their country. It's oh my God, they have they talk about having I don't know, Talmudic law or something like that. If they decide to have that, what's your problem? Isn't that called a theocracy or something? If they want to have it with the religious leaders and this and that, so be it. I don't understand. I mean, you guys, United States supported Saudi Arabia for so long, and they had what they had, and they still have it. And you talk about Bibi and his clique. Well, they see the way they are. The problem is these guys have nuclear weapons, and that's dangerous. But what are you going to do? Control them? Well, why don't you go and ask Kennedy? Well, a few things. Yeah, that Kennedy who was shot all 3 shots from behind, but somehow he was like, bam, boom, bam. Yeah, okay. By the same guy from the same position. Bum, bum, choo-choo, bum, choo-choo, bum, choo-choo, bum. Not even pam, pam, pam. I think it was both. Wasn't it? Bum, choo-choo, bum, and choo-choo. Was it Mossberg? What was it? I can't remember. Anyway. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I think BB is laughing his ass off right now, and he says, don't even bother. He's gonna say, well, you don't know this guy, how long he still has to. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.